Right. So we are just about to start, right? Donc, starting with November 2019, 2019, right? So let's see the questions. You do the questions, especially those number having 5 marks and 10 marks. They are very important questions, right? 1 point and 3 point, fine, and you will be able to answer, right? But especially these two, we need to practice. So let's see the very first question, number 3A, first part. Name the avatar of Vishnu shown as part lion. Of course, it's easy. Name the king that he came to kill, right? So just write the name, no need to write complete sentence also, just the name of the person. Now state 3 actions of the Vaman avatar, right? Donc Vaman avatar, when he came for what? What did he do on earth ou bien as an avatar? 3 actions maybe which you can take that you can say, for example, he he participated in the fire sacrifice, asking for the 3 steps of land, covering but with 2 steps he covered the earth and the heaven, that is the whole atmosphere, and for the 3rd one there was no place, and he asked where he is going to put that 3rd one. And of course Bali offered his head. And then another action what Vaman avatar has done, say pushing Bali to the Netherlands, or what we call hell. So see here it said it asked for 3 actions for 3 marks. So you just mention the 3 actions, okay? No need to go in details. Comment me les autres en détail, vous faites pas ça, right? So select your actions, write the 3 actions, that's it, you will get your marks, right? Next one, explain why Krishna is important to many Hindus, right? So we have many Hindus worshipping Krishna. I'm sorry. So Krishna is kind of a central figure, right? Central figure in literature, in poetry especially, okay? For example, you have Surdas, who was a great poet. He has written about Krishna, right? So people has been influenced by this character, Krishna. And since he is the main character in the Bhagavad Gita, people widely worship him, okay? You know, in the Bhagavad Gita, of course, there were many other characters in the Bhagavad Gita, but he is the main one, okay, the main character. So that is a reason you can write that people pray him, worship him, or bien he's important for Hindus because of this. And he taught us many things in the Bhagavad Gita, for example, teachings on karma, on moksha, right? The stories about Krishna remind Hindus that Vishnu is in control of everything. In the Mahabharata, he helped the Pandavas to win the war, like we discussed last time. So whatever he has done, whatever Krishna has done as an avatar, it reminds us that Krishna, or Vishnu himself, is the most powerful one, right? So Krishna's life operates as a role model for many Hindus, right? We always try to act, try to behave, try to imbibe virtues as Krishna had. And in the Bhagavad Gita, it has been said that devotion to Krishna can lead us to moksha directly. right? So Krishna himself has given this message of Bhagavad Gita that if you do devotion pure-heartedly, we will reach moksha, right? And Krishna is often the object of personal bhakti or devotion. Like personal bhakti means each one nous prier in a certain form, either Krishna or any other form as well, right? So for 5 marks, no need to write all these things for sure, but you write at least maybe 3 reasons and then you elaborate, or you write 5 reasons if you want, without much elaboration. Why is Krishna so important for Hindus nowadays? Okay, not nowadays, but why is he so important for us, right? Here, maybe you will try to, maybe you can think about discussing that not only Krishna is important for Hindus, okay, other gods also are important. But then what will happen when you will answer your question? You will go lengthy with the question, right? And it's not needed, c'est seulement les 5 points, so you just give reason. Mais par contre, si sa question-là, c'était question D, having 10 marks, then you would have discussed Krishna is important and other avatars also are important, right? If you want in this question, you may write in only 1 sentence that all the avatars are important, but major focus is given on Krishna, right? In this way, we can write it and then we give the various reasons. So I continue, right? So question 3D, those who just joined, we are discussing November 2019 questions on avatar. We started with number 3, A, B, C, right? We are going to see the D part now. So avatars provide a perfect model for human behavior. I always tell my students, you know, when we read a question in the exam, so whenever we are doing our work at home, underline the keywords of the question is very important, okay? Then at times you don't have each time you don't have to read the whole of the question again and again. Just by looking at the main keywords, rather, you can further write your answer. Especially, you know, in the exams, you have a stress, you have a pressure, okay? And underlying the keywords will help you to understand the question better. Now, avatars provide a perfect model for human behavior. So here, Lindsay, avatar en général, it's not a particular avatar, not talking about only about Narasimha or Vaman or Ram or Krishna. So the en général. So if ever in your answer, you are taking an example of an avatar which is not in your syllabus, it is okay. Okay, I repeat that. If while writing an answer for such questions, côté en général avatars, right, you are mentioning one avatar, for example, the Matsya avatar, the fish incarnation. You think or you want to mention that in your answer, you can do it. But provided you don't distract, you don't get distracted, okay? Pas qu'il ne peut commencer à écrire le Matsya avatar maintenant, then forgetting what is there in the syllabus. No, okay? So you are free to write even about the avatars which are not in the syllabus, right? But don't give too many details. So understanding it and Simon Desert avatar en général. So all the avatars which came or who has come or who will come, right? They provide us a perfect model for human behavior. That is, as a human, how should we behave? How should we live in a society? What should be our virtues, right? What are things that we should discourage? What are the bad qualities that we need to get rid of, right? So these are all things that I understand from this question now. So then you're going to write ki, peut-être someone will write that this avatar in teach us this and that thing. Okay, you may proceed in that way à ce moment-là. So to what extent do you agree with this view? Now, you can agree, you can disagree. I told you that previously also. Il n'est pas nécessairement que ou besoin écrire tous les deux, agreeing and disagreeing. But this is the best way to answer the question, where you write your agreements and your disagreements. Okay? Don't just write one side, agreements only, ou bien un autre pour dire pour write disagreements only. Why? Because here we need to maximize our marks. No? Exam, bien sûr, we need marks, right? So, si nous écrire agreements and disagreements, for sure you're going to get better marks. Maybe while writing only agreements, it is not sufficient. Or disagreement only, it won't be sufficient, what you are writing. Or maybe you won't be able to prove or to justify what you want to say, okay? So, you know, anything is possible during the exams, of course, with the pressure of the exam. So write on both, though you are free to choose which one, agreement or disagreement. But I'll suggest you write both, okay? So it's just about discussing. Donc, let's see what we can write, okay? No, avatars provide a perfect model for human behavior. If a student wants, he or she can start the answer by writing the verse from the Bhagavad Gita. That is, Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya Glanir Bhavati Bharata. Then you write the meaning of it in English, okay? You can start by this also. If you don't know the Sanskrit version, write the English one. But if you know the Sanskrit version, please write it, okay? Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya. 2 lines will be enough. I told you that previously. And then you write the meaning also. What does it mean? Never leave a quotation, a verse like this without giving meaning, especially if the verse is in another language, right? So, if you want to start your answer by that verse, you're free to do it. That will be very nice also. Parce que dans un verse, là, il déjà dit à nous, what is the purpose of Avatar, right? So we know well the purpose of Avatar. We have said that there are 2 objectives: to set examples to people, to show the right path, and also the second objective will be to destroy evils, right? So, since Avatar are gods in human form or physical form, they represent a role model for us. For example, but now you need to give example. If you don't give examples in such question, vous capable de tout argument, okay? But if there are no examples, you won't score maximum marks. You won't get full marks, right? Examples should be there. Any example you want to take from Avatar, you can. But here in this case, the best example to take, say, all the avatars which have come in the human form. Okay, parce que the question says about human behavior, right? That will be the best. So here Ram gives us a perfect example of how to live a dharmic way of life as a son, as a husband, as a king. You know, he was ideal person, right? That can be one example to take. He obeyed when his father said he had to go to the forest for 14 years. He obeyed, he agreed, right? That is really a nice example to write. Krishna, one example you can take from Krishna is his teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita itself is like a Bible, actually the Bible for the Hindus. Why? Because the Bhagavad Gita teaches us the way to live. If you are in a certain situation, how to get rid of, how to come out of that situation. Everything is found in the Bhagavad Gita. Old scholars, even Mahatma Gandhi has said that whenever we have a problem, we are in a confusion, in a difficulty, just read the Bhagavad Gita and we will find solution. So the Bhagavad Gita actually gives solutions to all the problems which exist. No problem. Every problem actually has a solution. So one example from Krishna which you can take is that he has given the message of the Bhagavad Gita, which is very important. Kiban message you can write karma, bhakti, gyan, that is knowledge, or you write nature of dharma, reincarnation, moksha, etc. Right. So since among all avatars, Ram, Krishna, and also Buddha, okay, which is not in your syllabus, Buddha, they are given more importance than other, because they lived their life completely, full avatar, full incarnation. So at every stage of life, we can take examples from them. As a brahmachari, as a student, as a householder, as a forest dweller, as an ascetic, right? So we can take different examples, especially from these three, Ram, Krishna, and Buddha, right? Now, it is not always possible to follow the examples of avatars. It's true. Who are supernatural beings. They are avatars. They are God in human form. Okay. But we are actually not like God, like Ram. Okay. We are not divine in that way. Bon, je ne suis pas trop d'accord actually avec le mot qui m'a dit that we are not divine, parce que we are all divine in essence because God is in us. But what I want to say here, we are not those supernatural beings like God is. So comparison becomes a bit difficult then. He is the supreme one, right? Mais pas nous. At times it is difficult. We don't say we can't do it or it is impossible. Say it is difficult that it is difficult to follow those examples because we have lots of limitations, right? As human beings, we have limitations. We have aussi temptations. Bien sûr, nous facilement tentés, instead of doing good things, nous pouvons faire things which were not supposed to be done, right? So the accounts of the lives of Avatar often contain miracles that normal people cannot expect. Right? Everyone among you and I, we can't do miracles as such. For example, Ram, there's a story in Ramayana that he touched a stone and that stone became a beautiful woman. Like last time I told you, Krishna did the unexpected sunset. Of course, we can't do that, right? So somehow comparison is again difficult here. We can't exactly follow whatever the avatars have done. But yes, for sure, there are certain things we can imbibe. Okay, we may say that we can't be like Vaman. No one can be like Vaman, right? We can't be like Narsimha. But like Ram, we can be. Yes, Nitya some miracle aspect from the life of Ram. about the miracle aspect. When Ram lived a simple life like common people. So we can actually follow those moral teachings, ethical teachings which they taught us, right? Now, the question was, Avatar provide a perfect model for human behavior. Now, in the Hindu society or in Hinduism, who will follow the avatars? Of course, those who believe in them, those who believe that God takes incarnation, right? But in Hinduism, not everyone believe that God takes human form. Some people pray God in the formless aspect. I take the example, the Arya Samajists, they don't do idol worship. They worship the formless one, the formless God, Kinapil Nirgun Brahman, the formless one. But Zupa believe in avatars like Ram, Krishna, like all the Hindus do. Donc, for such people, following avatar means to say out of question. Okay, donc, not all Hindus acknowledge avatarhood, right? Donc, they would somehow disagree that we should not follow them. For example, Swami Dayanand, Ram Mohan Roy, they were all reformers, great teachers who did not believe in doing idol worship, who rejected the avatarhood concept. Okay, so for them, following avatar, pas important, they will just follow the Vedic way of life. The Vedic way of life, that is whatever is written there in the Vedas, c'est ça qu'ils veulent pour follow, et non plus the avatars, right? So here's the answer to this question. Please add examples. Here we have only Ram, Krishna, only 2 examples. You can add, if you want to add more, please add, right? Especially, what do we learn from them? When we did Ram, we have seen the 10 principles of Dharma. Write them. If not all of them, write the virtues which we can imbibe, how to respect people. All of these things we learn, right? So this is the question. I come to the question paper. So this part we have discussed already. Now let's see this one. Okay. If you have any question, you may stop me anytime or message me, right? Now give 2 features of a Murti of Krishna. All of you have seen a Murti of Krishna. Any 2 features? Maybe someone can write the flute. He holds the flute, or he plays the flute. He has the peacock. He wears yellow clothes. I don't know if I told you that earlier. You'll see many gods in photos having yellow clothes. They are known as Pitambari. Pitambari ou bien Pitambar. In case of Krishna, he will be Pitambar. Those who wear yellow clothes. Vishnu, I guess I told you, he wears, even at times you have Ganesh also, right? So any 2 features of the Murti of Krishna, it's not about the life of Krishna in a Murti. That is, when you see the Murti, you have a Murti in front of you, what do you observe? What do you see? Describe how the foster parents, we have the biological parents who are Vasudeva and Devaki. The foster parents were Nand and Yashoda. So describe how the foster parents of Krishna learned that he was an avatar of Vishnu. Okay. Bon, il y a beaucoup d'affaires nous avons écrit. He did many miracles when he was still a kid, even a baby, right? Or you can write one event is that Sage Narad visited Yashoda and wanted to know from Yashoda what are the good things she did in her past life, that the god Narayan, the god of the universe, the god Vishnu has taken incarnation there. So through Narad, the foster parents came to know, right? Now, you don't need to write 2 or 3. You may write only 1 and you elaborate like this. You get your marks. Another, you can say that, you know, Krishna was eating mud and then Yashoda told him to open his mouth. Yashoda saw the whole universe in his mouth. So these things you can write. Okay. Next. Explain how one avatar re-established the dharma. So one avatar, it will be of your choice, but this one should be within your syllabus. For examples now here. One avatar which is not in your syllabus, but this one, no, right? When it says about writing about one avatar, it should be in your syllabus. So explain how one avatar re-established dharma. You take your own avatar which you want, whatever the avatar has done, Sisa, how he or she, not she, sorry, how he established dharma. Okay. By killing the demons, if you are taking the example of Ram, you mention how he defeated the demons in the forest, how he killed Ravan. But now establishing dharma is not only about killing, is also about setting examples, right? So you choose your own one which you want. If you want to write about Krishna, you are free, right? So I continue. The nature of Vishnu is best seen through the life of Ram. Au fait, là aussi, c'est une question générale, but focus is a bit on Ram. Okay. So if we have to understand Vishnu, his nature, his attributes, his characteristics, so we should see that through the life of Ram. Okay. Quelque part, we can say, of course, we agree to it. Parce que the life of Ram, since birth till Ram left his body, he has set many examples for us to follow. He has done miracles as well. But it's not only about the life of Ram. If we want to know about the nature of Vishnu, we can see it through the life of Krishna as well, or the life of Narsimha as well. Though Narsimha appeared, Narsimha did not take birth. He just appeared to do his duty of destroying Hiranyakashipu, and then he disappeared, right? So you can take that example also, because let's say you say the nature of Vishnu can be seen through Narsimha. But Vishnu is a protector. And while protecting, he can destroy. And Narsimha came for that, to destroy, right? So there are many aspects to this question which you can write, okay? You can about Ram only if you want. If for you, Ram is the best way to see or to understand the nature of Vishnu, right? Or you can add Krishna, you can add Narsimha, whatever thing. But probably and the Hinduism, the Hindus, according to whom God is formless. For them, avatarhood is not important. They follow the Vedic way of life, not the avatars, not the Purans, not the Bhagavad Gita, not the Ramayana. We have also those people who focus on the Nirgun Brahman. Nirgun Brahman said the formless God, right? So write whatever you think about. Si on veut prendre tous les 4 avatars écrits ici, examples, you're free, do it, right? So, ça c'est questions 2019, numéro 3 et numéro 4. Let's move to 2018. Right, so number 3. Our question on avatar will always be number 3 and 4. Name the boy who was saved from the flames by Narsimha. Facile. Cette question-là, au fait, il y a une faute dedans. Right? Later, it became null and void by Cambridge. Name his sister who was destroyed in the flames. C'était pas his sister. His sister, c'est Adelichipu Hiranyakashipu, right? But you can avoid this question, right? Outline one story that is told about Vaman. Any one story. Bien sûr, one easiest story to write, say, going to the fire sacrifice of Bali, asking for the 3 steps of land, covering with the 2 steps, he covered the earth, the heaven, and then 3rd, he pushed Bali to the netherland. 3 points, c'est bon. Next, explain what Hindus might learn from the story of Narsimha. So we have seen a story of Narsimha, let's say devotion. The devotion of of Prahalad, right? He had such an intense love and devotion for God that anytime when his life was in danger, he took the name of Vishnu, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, the name of Vishnu, and he was saved. Such was the intensity of his devotion, right? Another thing you can write about is when we have powers, we should not misuse the powers, like Hiranyakashipu did, and especially Holika, the sister of Hiranyakashipu, right? And Narsimha, he appeared for what? To protect his devotee, right? To protect Prahalad. So whenever we call God, he comes in any form possible. He comes to help us, right? So you write the lessons you learned from the Narsimha avatar, right? Lipa necessarily only about Narsimha, but anyone related in that story. You have Narsimha himself, you have Prahalad, you have Hiranyakashipu, you have Holika. But do write about Narsimha, bien sûr, and especially that it reminds us that God is the only powerful one. Okay, no one else. He is the creator, he is himself the destroyer. Okay, well, many things to write here. Next one, the human avatars are more important than animal avatars. You have to discuss. So Vishnu, bien sûr, ici nous pouvons mention other avatars, ce qui n'est pas dans le syllabus. Vishnu has taken many incarnations, the fish, the tortoise, half man, half animal, complete man, but not complete. Incomplete man in the form of a dwarf, and then complete human being, right? So you discuss, do you think human avatar are more important than animals one? En façon, peut-être oui. Comment? You know, we are humans. Right now, we are not animals, we are not fish, you know, we are not tortoise, right? We are human beings. And from where do we take examples? From other human beings, right? From other people who lived like humans, at least, like the human avatars. So for us, bien sûr, where we'll take, how do you say, examples, or bien, who will be our path makers, say the human avatars. not exactly the animal avatars. But it's true. We learn lessons from the animal avatars. Vishnu taking the form of the tortoise, Lina prend the Mandara mountain le solito. That is, it means that he protects us, he helps us, he can take any responsibility, he can take any burden on him, right? So it's up to you to discuss now which one, the avatar, human avatar or animals avatar. But again, take examples. When you're writing human avatars, Rama, Krishna, or Vaman, okay? And Narasimha, yes, really pour half, right? So I told you, you may mention about other avatars here. Yes, sure, you have to, right? And last time, I know once I told you about the evolution happening. He came as the sea animal, then land animal, then half human, half man, then as a man. That is the evolution. Right? So up to you to write. Next question, number 4. Give the name of Ram's wife, name the demon who kidnapped her. Describe one way in which Ram followed his duty to his family. One way only, you describe it. Let's say I'm going to say he obeyed his father by going to the forest for 14 years. Then I elaborate on this one. See, and dans the peut-être, you are writing that he is an ideal husband, parce que he is part of the family, no, the wife. So you can take that example, ou bien ligue tout ban frère pareil. You can take that example also. Anyone which you want. Okay, only one seulement, and then you elaborate on it. You describe. Explain what Hindus can learn from the companions of Ram. Now, who are the companions of Ram? You can say Hanuman. Yes, you was a companion. You have Lakshman was a companion. You have Sita was a companion. You can write about the 3. Okay. Then you write what do we learn from them. For example, Hanuman, yes, we learn about devotion and all. From Sita, you learn about being an ideal wife, about virtues. The brother Lakshman, the devotion, the qualities of a warrior. Okay, so you can write about these 3 here, just then mentioning their virtues, right? Virtues in our book, bien sûr, but no need to write all of them. Just summarize them in few words. Next question. Avatars are the best way to learn about God. Bien sûr, les vrais et les non, c'est les pas vrai. Hein? For some people, avatar, yes, it is the best way to learn about God. But for others, pas oublier toujours ça l'autre aspect de la société que some people do not believe in avatarhood. They follow the Vedas, they follow the Nirgun Brahman. For them, reading, practicing the Vedas, the Upanishads, okay, they will learn from God from there, et non plus from Avatar, et from Puran, c'est pas from Ramayana, etc. Right? So you can discuss about it here. Don't forget to take examples. Okay, important. Question 10 points tous les temps, je besoin pour examples to get marks. Right? So this is 2018, numéro 3 et 4. Nous allons pour discuss 2020. Can you please rejoin? It will disconnect.